Hello and welcome, I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. We've got Heather on Eureka versus John. It is not going to be Tin Fins. He actually tries to play a new deck every week. I believe this is... well, we will see. It's a basic island. We'll go ahead and edit that as this comes up. A Brainstorm in response to this first fetch. Perhaps indicating that the deck could be running... Nope, scratch that point. I was going to say Daze, but like you actually would want to see what they're casting before you find a Daze. Oh, is it end step? Brainstorm. Never mind. Ponder. Just a end of turn, Brainstorm. Now a Ponder. That Brainstorm just kind of cycling here, as no fetching was involved, and then Ponder got another card off the top of the library. So not particularly efficient there with the Brainstorm. Maybe on some type of combo deck that's just looking to find things as fast as possible and could be pretty close to where he wants to be already. We'll see. Eureka, very explosive deck, can win on the first turn, but also gets to pack at least a playset of Force of Will. Veil of Summer, along with now Daze has been in those lists as well. I actually like Daze a lot in theory. Haven't got to test it out though. Haven't actually been able to sleeve up Eureka in a bit. But I do like the potential to pick up Mystic Sanctuary and replay it in some of your more difficult matchups. It's Enlightened Tutor and Grindstone. All right, so we're on... So we are on Painter Grindstone. Enlightened Tutor finding it. Blue, white. Typically, Grindstone decks running Ancient Tomb, City of Traders, and the red splash for Goblin Welders. We'll see what else he has in here. I can't really think of too many blue-white Painter Grindstone builds that I've seen in recent memory. I like the blue-red builds in the past. Those were interesting, running... Thirst for Knowledge and Goblin Welder. That was hilarious. Intuition was strong in those decks. Felt a little bit like a vintage deck, but they are certainly weaker when you don't have... they're certainly weaker when there is a lot of creature removal in the format. Goblin Welder, when he's likely to stick around, is an incredible Magic card, but when there's just kind of removal everywhere, especially when there's incidental removal, things like Liliana the Last Hope, I mean, those are some interactions that don't work out very well when your opponent can handle your creature, with like a Punishing Fire or something. And now we've got a second Enlightened Tutor, so John going down significantly on card advantage, and Heather's going to Brainstorm in response to this Enlightened Tutor. Now John's still going to be a little ways away from a victory. Even if he has Painter, he'll still need the mana to activate Grindstone. And then unfortunately for him, Heather's on Eureka, meaning that he's going to have to find a way to handle the shuffle trigger from Emrakul. So Grindstone can eliminate all of Heather's deck in a sense. I mean, it'll put it into the graveyard, but Emrakul will then shuffle the entire graveyard back into the library. Tormod's Crypt, the typical answer. And not opting to try and cast the Painter. The white backs of John's sleeves really make those Tundras pop with their white borders. And now Euro. Not typically in Eureka Tell, but it is on color. So Heather testing this out. Getting a couple of extra land drops, gaining some life, and setting up a potential win condition. Impulse. Is Heather also not on Eureka Tell? Impulse is not normally main deck. That's usually in the sideboard. I guess we'll see here. Maybe this is some type of Simic Brew. No, it is a show and tell. Yeah, just with main deck Impulse and in Euro. Very interesting. Omniscience comes in. Painter Servant as well for John. Now Heather just has to be careful to not get Emrakul out of her library. Don't want to go ahead and grab Emrakul and Gristlebrand. Oh, she's already got the Gristlebrand. That's good. And Brainstorm can put the Emrakul back if need be, so Brainstorm a very important card at this point. And John actually not opting to grind out Heather during the end step to make sure she doesn't have the Emrakul in hand. He ponders. At a certain point, I mean, there are some games where you literally just have to hope that they somehow have drawn the Emrakul and have been unable to put it back. And here we go. Heather's drawing cards. That seems super dangerous. Is she looking to win in response? She's drawing 21 cards. I mean, as long as she has a Brainstorm, even if she draws Emrakul, it's fine. But she's got a Cunning Wish. For Firemind's Foresight. And that gets a Force of Will. Heather presumably going to be able to force back. Or Veil of Summer. I mean, she's got Omniscience out, so all of her counter spells costing 0. All of her stuff uncounterable now for the rest of the turn. She Cunning Wishes for a Brainstorm. And has a Release the Ants. Brainstorms again, or Brainstorms to put the Emrakul presumably on top. And now it's Release the Ants time. Emrakul targeting, or Emrakul allowing Release the Ants to win the clash each time, assuming John doesn't have a copy of Emrakul himself. This will be infinite damage to John. And yeah, I gotta wonder. I'll have to see if Heather remembers this match, if she actually had the Emrakul in hand. She ended up needing to draw 21 cards there. Oh, hilarious. So Release the Ant's actually killing the Painter first. Sure, that's definitely a thing you can do. And then going on to kill John. So extra utility there. Winning 3 clashes to make sure that worst case scenario, when that grindstone resolves, it's not even going to be lethal anymore, but also, killing the player as well. Game 2, John leading out with a Scalding Tarn. To Tropical Island, preordained for Heather. Digging, trying to find the combo, which could happen as soon as the next turn. Eureka tell a very explosive deck, well equipped to really have interesting matches versus most things in the format. You have something to say pretty much no matter what. You can fight on the stack, you can protect your hand, get out huge creatures. Very fast, powerful combo deck. And John going with a Painter Servant, which gets Force of Willed. Heather brainstorming. Fetch on board. Best combo in the game. And this Painter build, definitely a bit of a brew. Enlightened Tutor, a card that I'm not in love with. Going down a card is a very real cost. We'll see how this works out for John. But just as a general thing, I mean, I did play Enlightened Tutor at one point in Vintage, along with a copy of Future Sight and Black Lotus. And the ability to tutor one of those two up was kind of a combo. I mean, Future Sight wasn't super castable, but if you had Lotus, you just win the game with it. And then vice versa, if you had the Lotus and you wanted something ridiculous to cast, Future Sight is enough of a card that it makes up for the card disadvantage. I had games where my opponent would land a Necropotence and I would land a Future Sight and I would outdraw them ridiculously. And I think you really need a super high reward when you're making that investment of not only Absolute Law. What a wild man here. John playing with Absolute Law. Protection from red for everything. And here's a show and tell. Omniscience. I mean, Absolute Law only gives protection to creatures. So John can still be very much killed by the Release the Ants. Cunning Wish. We've got a Daze. He's got one card left in hand aside from the Tundra. Grabbing a Veil of Summer. And now we've got an Shared Summons. What did I miss there? Did she have mana floating or something? That was a Daze. Well, we've got Emrakul and Gristlebrand coming down. And that is going to do it. Hydroblast, the last card left in hand, as Heather takes that one down with the dynamic duo of Emrakul and Gristlebrand. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.